Navy, the Indian Army and the Indian Air Force. This meeting has just concluded. He has had a conversation with them. What was the subtext of that conversation? I'm sure that he was trying to draw on their wealth of experience and advice. General Pannu, a good move to rope in people who have been recently retired, who spent 30, 40, 50 years on the front lines to get an estimate, maybe even brief them on what is going on, as well as take their suggestions on what we should do.
I think it's a very good move. Even in the Indian Army, there is a tradition that we continue to have the chiefs conclaves. Every 6 months, we all veterans come together and we all meet and discuss issues, because the past legacy cannot be forgotten. His historical cycles keep getting repeated. And I think the traditional military is built on a culture where the veterans, with a wealth of experience and the regimental harmony and bonhomie, they come together and they can really mobilize not only the opinion, but also largely the youngsters who would like to listen to those senior officers that they have been serving under with a lot of respect and awe. Imagine going back to your own battalions, going back to your own youngsters who are now in senior positions. They look up to you. So I think that kind of a bonhomie, that kind of a knowledge exchange, and the cultural exchange is extremely important, which only makes the country more strong. I think the Prime Minister is just about doing that and is trying to use those strengths which are there.
Group Captain Jha, your quick thoughts. I mean, you know, it is a very, very difficult situation right now. And what do you make of the PM just taking in a word, getting a perspective, word of advice and experience from people who've been doing this for 30, 40 years?
It's always a good sign. Look, these people who have retired as chief, they have got wealth of experience, but of course, those experiences are of their times. But that cannot be forgotten. It has to be, you know, something what gives, the history always teaches you of the fallacy in the system and gives you a better idea. So from that point of view, as well as what is happening today, as we have already talked, you know, many of the things just now, General Pannu also have suggested that, you know, being proactive, instance puts the enemy on the defensive. This is something what we have not seen very evidently happening on the war front. So when all these veterans, mind you, they are the chiefs of the respective services, when they have had a word with the PM and the entire cartel of the CCS, I can say that roughly. Obviously, exchange of ideas are there. PM must be having an RMO must be having, you know, the thought what they are going through with. Today itself, we were discussing that the way we are seeing that the passivity right now, the defensive position of the Indian side, gives us a hint that we are in for a long, campaign that is going through.
Yeah, first, because I mean, what we could, I don't know, and I'm not even going to pretend to know, okay? Because what we have been seeing for the past 48 hours, VN Jha, I am actually genuinely troubled by it. A large section, not a small section, of the Indian formal media, the people who are trained journalists, we've been sounding like the Pakistanis. We're making all sorts of claims and suggestions. You know, it's not something. I'll give you an example of how Pakistan functions and how you don't want to function. Okay, you're seeing such maturity coming from the armed forces, from the foreign secretary, the defense minister, such maturity coming from the Indian envoys abroad who are now giving the TV interviews. You see a huge swath of a difference. I'll give you an example. This has been very well put together. It's an excellent example of what the chaos that is going on in Pakistan. So on the 8th of May, Lieutenant General Ahmad Sharif, who is the Director General of the ISPR, which is the propaganda wing, he says we shot down all the drones launched by India. Okay. A few minutes later, a statement is made by Defense Minister Khwaja Asif, the social media veteran. He says these drones came in and at altitude of 35,000 feet. They have some advanced technology, including stealth drone technology. So DG ISPR says we have shot down everything. The defense minister says, oh my God, they've got some stealth weapon technology. Then a few minutes later, as the day changes into May 9th, Khwaja Asif today says, we have not intercepted any Indian drone because we did not want to leak the location of our anti-drone batteries. So they have destroyed everything, they've destroyed nothing. So if you keep doing this, you then make a mockery of yourself, as Khwaja Asif has. He'll become infamous for this. He's a laughing stock all over the world. Okay? I have no intention of becoming one, and I would seriously recommend none of you should partake in this. I have repeatedly said we are